So I've featured ESR before on the channel. I even drop tested it. But a lot of you told me that there's much more good ones, and therefore wanted to get my hands on every available case this time around. So today we're looking at the Classic Hybrid and Pro, the Cloud Soft series, the Boost Flickstand, the Zero Clear Halo Lock, and even the Armor series. Starting off with the most interesting case, the Tough case. This is a two-part design, so for the ones that like those built-in screen protectors. Easily separated by pushing from the corner and then moving off the soft silicone sides. What I noticed right away is the fact that the backplate is magnetically aligning itself. I think it's done via the regular MagSafe ring, but they must have added something because normally that doesn't happen. Very cool nonetheless. So you just got to lay the phone face flat in the screen protector part and then move the backplate over it. Really that easy. The sides of this case are really soft, and that translated to the bottom as well, where your pinky finger supports the phone most of the time. More than enough screen protection, clicky buttons, and a very unique camera bump here as well. The space in between the camera lenses is now gone, but still offers a camera ring on top of that as well. And that's great because normally with such a design, the elevated camera bump is everything it has to offer. Very strong MagSafe magnets on the back as well, which is awesome. Offers a button for the action button, and this year's camera control button is a cutout. And this cutout is made out of the harder plastic from the front piece, so not the soft silicone material. Now, as far as the accessibility for that button, it's alright. The sloped edges make it comfortable to use. The only thing I notice with these cutouts is that pressing is slightly more difficult. And even with the setting on lighter, it's still ever so slightly more difficult to press with a case. I've noticed that there's even some sort of grid in front of these speakers at the bottom, probably to avoid dust particles, I guess. But no USB-C cover, which I don't mind personally, but is the standard when it comes to these two-part cases. It also comes with additional camera protection lenses, which I absolutely hate, so won't use, but if you like them, you get a pair with your purchase. The case is 67 grams or 2.37 ounces. Moving on to the Cloud series. These silicone cases remind me so much of the Rinky silicone cases. They feel exactly the same. Here though, the design is a little better in my opinion. I love the MagSafe ring design, which looks awesome. The MagSafe strength is also really strong, which is great to see here too. Features that suede-like inner, which is also really soft to touch and looks great. Good against micro scratches as well. The fit is excellent, which is the best part. Whereas with the Rinky silicone, at least the previous generation, I haven't seen that new one yet, but the fit wasn't good there. It just came off too easily and would with dropping as well. Here, the fit is just perfect. Has that nice click to it and isn't easily pushed off at all. Now, the buttons are clicky, but they made it a little more difficult to press. So it isn't as easy as going without the case here. For the camera control button, they went with a cutout too, but a full one instead of the oval shape we've seen before. And I must say, works out great as far as the functionality goes with the button, and they made sloped edges, which along with that soft silicone just feels great. But there is a problem. The integrity of that corner is now compromised. And I'm not talking about the occasional drop where that part will be unprotected or anything. I'm talking about the fact that the corner piece is so flexible that the fit is no longer good there. You can see that the corner is easily pushed off, and it's only the corner. Still, if it were to fall on that corner, that's most likely bad news. Features good front protection, but only at the top and bottom, so very little screen protection in the middle part. Amplified with a total cutout for the camera control. Now, this case has a customizable camera bump, which is a fun gimmick. The colors aren't really my thing though. You can easily push one out and click a new one back in. The 16 series version is 36 grams or 1.27 ounces, and the 16 Pro Max version is 40 grams or 1.41 ounces. Then there's also the Zero series in the frosted gray and frosted black. My first impressions are pretty good actually. I mean, yes, it's a flexible case and therefore there isn't much strength to it, but there's still enough material to actually make a difference. It still has a decent front bezel as well, especially at the top and bottom where it swells up. In the middle there is still enough though, so it's only extra there. More than enough strength on the MagSafe magnet as well, albeit like a 6.5 out of 10 here. The MagSafe ring has that same design to it as the Cloud series, which does look great, I must say. Now, the camera bump is a strong plastic ring with a sloped edge on the side. Feels strong too. The buttons aren't the clickiest, but not bad either. I'll give it like a 5.5 out of 10. It features those corner pieces to ensure no wobble will occur when it lays on its back. So far, so good, but it's not very grippy and it's also very thin. So much so actually that it's getting into minimalist territory. But it just does not feel like the naked iPhone experience. So if that's what you're after, then I must disappoint you. The finish of this semi-clear case feels dusty. There is no other word I can use to describe it. As if there's dust on there. It just doesn't feel great at all. The fit is okay-ish. It slaps on the phone no problem, but you can notice very weak and flexible sides, which would annoy me over time. It features a cutout for the camera control button, which works great and feels great. The 16 Pro Max version is 29 grams or 1 ounce, and the 16 series version is 26 grams or 0.92 ounces. So overall, mixed feelings about these. Now, when we're talking about a case that feels more premium, this one will come up for sure. The Flickstand case. This case has a near perfect fit, easy to install, easy to get off the phone, and it does not compromise on its security. Has great front protection with that swelling at the top and bottom, features a very strong, clear backplate with grippy silicone sides, clicky buttons, very strong MagSafe magnets, and even a kickstand on the back, which does not look awful. And that MagSafe ring doesn't have a full circle because it features that unique design along with the kickstand. The kickstand works great. You can easily grab it from the bottom USB-C cutout, and there is a click to it when you want it to hold. Usable as a horizontal stand, but also vertically. There's also no feelable edge in between the edges of the backplate and the sides, so it all really feels smooth and refined. Hard plastic camera bump which feels secure, soft material on the bottom, which is great too. Now, as far as the cutouts go for the camera control, this one is among the most comfortable so far. It just works. The MagSafe ring isn't feelable from the backplate, only from the inside you can feel the edges, which also works wonders for that refined feel I talked about. The case is 54 grams or 1.9 ounces and is an awesome choice for sure. And then finally we have the Classic series. Let's start with the Hybrid. It feels like your average clear case, but stronger. It maintains that refined feel from the Flickstand we just saw, but without the strong backplate. Because here, the whole case is sort of flexible. That's also why I think this will yellow pretty quickly. It's only like 18 USD though, so we shouldn't judge it too hard. And for that money, you can always buy another one. Now, it features the exact same cutout for the camera control here too, but there is a major difference. These silicone sides are naturally a little grippy, which is great for holding the case, but when you're swiping across it, which is the case when we're talking camera control, it will sort of slow you down, which is the exact opposite of what you would want. I think they should have made that part regular plastic, which will allow for the movement needed here. Clicky buttons, but ever so slightly more difficult to press, which is always a bummer. It lends a lot of those features from the other cases, like the corner protection, the front protection, and the camera bump, which are all pretty good, so that isn't me complaining. Those same magnets are used there too, so they are more than enough and feel stronger than your average magnet. And you can admire that new Desert Titanium because the whole case is transparent, which is one of its main advantages. The case is 36 grams or 1.27 ounces. Now, they also have the classic Pro, but I feel like there's nothing pro about it. A pro version of the hybrid would be the Flickstand, not this one. It features that same dusty finish, and there's a slight texture on the sides which I cannot stand either. Once again, dusty or sandy, I don't know how to describe it. Here I would go all out, or don't go at all. Those microscopic textures aren't for me. Now, it does feel grippier than the Zero series, and the buttons are also very clicky. And all that without making it harder to press. So it's at least an upgrade from those. Same cutout for the camera control, which is okay here. Not any harder to use due to the microscopic texture. But doesn't feel nice either. Good front protection though, and still that same camera bump, which already has my seal of approval. The case has some unrefined edges at the bottom part though, and I hate texture on the bottom. It does come with interchangeable buttons, but even those don't feel pro, rather cheapy. And it also comes with a screen protector included, which comes with a frame for your phone, which you just lay on top of it. And then you can also lay the screen protector right in the middle. Pretty easy and well thought out. The case is 40 grams or 1.41 ounces. Now make sure you hit that subscribe button because I got a whole lot more cases coming up.